The world just witnessed something that seemed impossible, until now. On May 14, 2025, a Norwegian pilot sitting inside a P-8A Poseidon aircraft took complete control of American bombs that were already flying through the air. Bombs that had been launched by a completely different aircraft from another country. This wasn't science fiction. This was real warfare technology that just changed everything we thought we knew about military operations. Two GBU-53 Stormbreaker glide bombs, weighing over 200 pounds each, were fired from American F-15E Strike Eagles off the Norwegian coast. But here's where it gets incredible. Once those bombs left the aircraft, Norwegian forces took over their guidance systems and steered them to their targets using their own sensors and targeting data. The Americans handed over control of their own weapons to another nation's military in real time. Welcome to Jet Insight, where we bring you the most significant military developments that are reshaping modern warfare. What you're about to discover today represents the biggest breakthrough in Allied military cooperation since NATO was formed. This test didn't just work. It shocked military experts around the world and proved that the future of warfare has arrived much sooner than anyone expected. The implications of what happened on that day in May are staggering. We're talking about a complete revolution in how Allied nations can coordinate their military operations. But before we dive deep into exactly how this technology works and why it's sending shockwaves through military circles worldwide, there's something crucial you need to understand about the weapon system that made this possible. If you're as amazed by this breakthrough as we are, type "proud" in the comments below and let us know what you think about this incredible advancement in military technology. Section 1. The weapon that changed everything. The star of this historic test was the GBU-53/B Stormbreaker, also known as the Small Diameter Bomb Increment 2. This isn't your grandfather's bomb. Weighing 93 kilograms and measuring 1.76 meters in length, this precision-guided weapon represents the cutting edge of American military technology. What makes the Stormbreaker special isn't just its ability to hit targets with incredible accuracy. It's what happens after the bomb leaves the aircraft that's truly revolutionary. Unlike traditional fire-and-forget weapons, the Stormbreaker is what military experts call a fire and update system. This means that even after it's been launched, the bomb can receive new instructions, change its target, or even abort the mission entirely. The weapon combines 3 different guidance systems in one package. It has millimeter wave radar that can see through fog, smoke, and rain. It features infrared imaging that detects heat signatures, and it includes semi-active laser guidance for pinpoint precision on designated targets. But the real game changer is its built-in communication system that allows it to talk to other aircraft and ground stations using Link 16 or UHF communications. Raytheon, the company that builds these weapons, has been delivering them to the US military since 2020. On January 31st, 2025, just months before this historic test, the Department of Defense expanded their order by another 360 bombs, valued at $84.2 million, with deliveries scheduled to continue until July 2028. The U.S. Air Force achieved initial operational capability with these weapons on the F-15E Strike Eagle in 2022, and they're now being integrated onto F-35 fighters, F/A-18 Super Hornets, and other advanced aircraft. But what happened during the Norwegian test took this technology to a completely new level that no one had seen before. Section 2. The historic test unfolds exercise. Jotun Strike began like many other NATO training exercises. 2 F-15E Strike Eagles from RAF Lakenheath took off and headed toward the Norwegian coast. These twin-engine fighters, known for their long-range strike capabilities, were each carrying GBU-53B Stormbreaker bombs. The F-15E has been the backbone of American air power for decades, capable of flying deep into enemy territory and delivering precision strikes with devastating effectiveness. But what happened next had never been attempted before in military history. As the F-15ES approached their release point, Norwegian forces were monitoring the entire operation from multiple platforms. A Norwegian P-8, a Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft, was airborne, its advanced sensors scanning the area and gathering real-time intelligence. The P-8A Poseidon is based on the Boeing 737-800 commercial airliner. But don't let that fool you. This aircraft is packed with some of the most sophisticated surveillance and reconnaissance equipment ever developed. Its APY-10 radar system can track targets at incredible distances, while its electro-optical and infrared sensors can identify and classify threats in all weather conditions. At exactly the right moment, the American pilots released their Stormbreaker bombs. The weapon separated from the F-15ES and began their glide toward the target area, their GPS and inertial navigation systems guiding them on their initial course. But then something unprecedented happened. Using secure Link 16 communications, the Norwegian operators aboard the P-8A Poseidon took control of the American weapons. The bombs that had been launched by U.S. aircraft were now being guided by Norwegian personnel using Norwegian sensors and Norwegian targeting data. The transfer of control was seamless, and the bombs adjusted their flight paths based on real-time intelligence from the Norwegian aircraft. This wasn't just a technical achievement. It was a complete breakthrough in international military cooperation. For the first time in history, one nation had successfully taken control of another nation's weapons while they were still in flight. Section 3. Why this changes everything. The success of this test represents far more than just a cool technological trick. It fundamentally changes how allied nations can work together on the battlefield. Colonel Roger Samuelson, head of the Norwegian Battle Lab and Experimentation, called it fantastic and emphasized that this was the first time this weapon had been released in a live version with international control transfer. Since 2019, the Norwegian military has been working on developing joint operational concepts for network-enabled weapons. They've been developing software for command and control systems that allow forces to take control of network-enabled weapons via Link 16 communications. What they achieved on May 14th was the culmination of years of careful planning and development. Captain Brett Stell of the U.S. Air Force's 494th Fighter Squadron put it perfectly when he said, "Jotun Strike isn't just a joint exercise. It's a demonstration of what warfighting looks like in the future. Together with our Norwegian partners, we're proving that a weapon launched from a U.S. platform can be guided by a Norwegian sensor across domains and distances." This level of integration provides several crucial advantages. First, it dramatically increases the safety of pilots and aircraft. The launching aircraft can stay well outside dangerous airspace, while other allied platforms guide the weapons to their targets. Second, it provides incredible flexibility in target selection. If a higher priority target appears, the weapon can be redirected without the original launching aircraft being involved. Third, and perhaps most importantly, it creates a level of operational integration between allied forces that has never existed before. No longer do individual nations need to rely solely on their own sensors and targeting systems. Instead, they can leverage the combined intelligence and sensor capabilities of all allied forces in the area. The Norwegian Armed Forces describe this capability as allowing weapons to receive real-time data from external sensors, improving the ability to detect targets and follow them with greater precision while reducing the risk of collateral damage. The weapon can be controlled, change course, select new targets, or even abort after release. Section 4. The technology behind the magic. Understanding how this technology works requires looking at the broader concept of network-centric warfare. Modern military operations increasingly rely on connecting sensors, platforms, and weapon systems across multiple domains: air, land, sea, space, and cyber. The goal is to create what military planners call a shared situational awareness picture that gives commanders unprecedented visibility into the battlefield. The Stormbreaker weapon system is designed from the ground up to operate in this networked environment. Its tri-mode seeker uses imaging infrared and millimeter wave radar to see through fog, smoke, and rain as the weapon glides over 45 miles to strike both fixed and moving targets on land or at sea. The weapon also includes semi-active laser homing and GPS-INS guidance systems for maximum flexibility. But the real breakthrough is the weapon's ability to communicate with other platforms while in flight. using two-way data link communications through Link 16 or UHF systems. The bomb can receive updated targeting information, new mission parameters, or abort commands from any authorized platform on the network. During the Norwegian test, this communication capability allowed the P-8A Poseidon to feed its sensor data directly to the Stormbreaker weapons while they were in flight. The Poseidon's advanced radar and surveillance systems provided continuous updates about target locations and movements, allowing the bombs to adjust their flight paths in real time. The weapons carried a multi-effects warhead equipped with shaped charge jets, fragmentation, and blast charge effects, along with options for delayed smart fusing. Despite weighing just over 200 pounds, half of that weight is the warhead itself, providing significant destructive capability against a wide range of targets. What makes this system truly revolutionary is that it's not dependent on any single platform or nation's sensors. The weapons can receive guidance from ground-based controllers, aircraft, ships, or even other weapons in the same strike package. This creates an incredibly resilient and flexible system that can adapt to changing battlefield conditions in real time. Section 5. Reactions from military experts. The success of this test has sent shockwaves through military and defense circles worldwide. Norway's Ministry of Defense called it groundbreaking and emphasized that it wrote a new chapter in military cooperation with the United States. They specifically highlighted that this was the first time the Americans have allowed another country to take control of an American bomb on its way to the target. Military analysts have been quick to recognize the strategic implications of this breakthrough. The test proves that the concept of Joint All-Domain Command and Control, or JADC2, is not just theoretical, but can work in practice with existing technology. JADC2 aims to connect sensors, platforms, and weapon systems across all domains of warfare to create a unified battle network. The Norwegian test demonstrated that this vision is achievable using technology that's already in service. The software and communication systems used were developed using existing Link 16 technology that's been the standard for NATO communications for decades. This means that the capability could potentially be rolled out to other allied nations relatively quickly. Defense experts have also noted the psychological impact of this test. The demonstration that allied nations can seamlessly share control of precision weapons sends a powerful message about NATO unity and technological superiority. It shows potential adversaries that allied forces can operate as a truly integrated whole, rather than as separate national militaries working alongside each other. The timing of this test is also significant. It comes at a time when military planners are increasingly focused on the concept of multi-domain operations and the need for greater integration between allied forces. The success of the Norwegian test provides concrete proof that these concepts can work in practice. Section 6. Implications for future warfare. The implications of this breakthrough extend far beyond the specific test conducted off the Norwegian coast. Military strategists are already thinking about how this capability could reshape future conflicts and change the way allied nations plan and execute military operations. One of the most significant implications is the potential for what experts are calling distributed lethality. Instead of relying on individual platforms to both detect targets and engage them, future operations could involve specialized sensor platforms working in coordination with dedicated strike platforms and weapons that can be controlled by either. This approach provides several advantages. It allows military forces to optimize each platform for its specific role, rather than trying to make every platform capable of every mission. Sensor platforms can focus on detection and tracking, while strike platforms can focus on weapons delivery, and command platforms can focus on coordination and control. The capability also provides greater resilience against enemy countermeasures. If one platform is damaged or destroyed, others can take over its role in guiding weapons to their targets. This distributed approach makes the overall system much more difficult for enemies to disrupt. Looking ahead, military planners are already thinking about how to expand this capability. The Norwegian test used existing technology, but future developments could make the system even more capable. Artificial intelligence could be integrated to allow weapons to make certain decisions autonomously, while still remaining under human control for critical targeting decisions. The US military is also developing other weapons with similar network-enabled capabilities. The success of the Stormbreaker test could accelerate the development and deployment of these systems across the entire range of American and allied military capabilities. Section 7. Community Callout. Speaking of these incredible advances in military technology, if you're a military veteran, currently serving, or simply passionate about defense and military innovation, we want to hear from you. We're building a community of military veterans, retired service members, and defense enthusiasts who appreciate the dedication and technological superiority of our armed forces. Whether you served in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or Space Force, your experience and insights are valuable to our community. We believe in supporting those who have served and continue to serve our nation with honor and distinction. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in joining, let us know in the comments below. Our military personnel, both active and retired, represent the best of American values and technological expertise. The success of tests like the one we've been discussing today is a direct result of the professionalism, skill, and dedication of our service members working alongside our NATO allies. Section 8. What's next for this technology? The success of the Norwegian test is just the beginning. Military contractors and defense agencies are already working on expanding this capability in several directions. Raytheon has announced that they're developing a ground-launched variant of the Stormbreaker weapon, with testing scheduled for summer 2025. This ground-launched version would allow Army and Marine units to deploy these precision-guided weapons without requiring air support. By integrating either rocket-based or air-breathing propulsion systems, these weapons could be launched from ground-based platforms while maintaining their network-enabled guidance capabilities. The F-35 fighter program is also integrating Stormbreaker capabilities as part of its Block 4 upgrade. The F-35 will be able to carry 8 Stormbreaker weapons internally and 8 more externally, giving this 5th-generation fighter incredible precision strike capabilities against both moving and stationary targets. Other NATO allies are also expressing interest in adopting similar capabilities. The success of the Norwegian test has demonstrated that the technology works and can be integrated with existing military systems relatively easily. This could lead to broader adoption across the alliance, creating an even more integrated and capable defense network. The U.S. Special Operations Command is also looking at lighter versions of network-enabled glide weapons for use with drones and smaller aircraft. These developments could bring similar capabilities to Special Operations Forces and expand the range of missions that can benefit from network-enabled precision strikes. All of these developments point toward a future where military operations are increasingly networked and integrated. The days of individual platforms operating independently are giving way to a new era of coordinated, multi-domain operations that leverage the combined capabilities of entire military networks. Conclusion. The test conducted off the Norwegian coast on May 14, 2025, represents more than just a successful weapons trial. It's proof that the future of warfare has arrived, and American military technology continues to lead the way in innovation and capability. What we witnessed was a perfect demonstration of how allied nations can work together, using cutting-edge technology to achieve capabilities that would have seemed impossible just a few years ago. The ability to transfer control of precision weapons between different nations' platforms in real time opens up entirely new possibilities for military cooperation and effectiveness. This breakthrough showcases the incredible skill and dedication of our military personnel and defense contractors who continue to push the boundaries of what's possible. It also demonstrates the strength of our alliances and the trust that exists between the United States and our NATO partners. As we continue to follow these developments, one thing is clear: American military technology and the professionals who operate it remain the gold standard for capability, innovation, and effectiveness worldwide. If you found this breakdown as fascinating as we did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of military technology and defense developments. Drop us a comment below with your thoughts on this incredible advancement. We love hearing from our community of defense enthusiasts and military professionals.